Hello, my darlings. I hope that you're up for a crafternoon because today we are going to make shields for our show. So there are different types of shields for different types of warriors. The kind of shield that we're going to make today is the round kind that fits better with our story. But you can use the same process to make more of a medieval knight-shaped shield. First things first, our materials. We need cardboard, we need tin foil, we need tape. Any old kind of tape will work. It's nice to have packing tape, but really whatever you have enough of. We need scissors. Make sure that they're craft scissors and not fabric scissors, because fabric scissors would be very sad if they were used to cut all of the things we're cutting today. You also will need some string or rope or strip of elastic or strip of fabric, but you need something that's going to act as your armband, the way that the shield is attached to your arm. Because when you're acting and doing things or battling with your shield, you don't want to have to hold it with your hand. You want it to just stay right on your arm so that it's just there and you can put it up and down as needed. You also will need something to make your marks with. I love Sharpie because it's dark and bright, but if you are working with markers, just be respectful of the space that you're working in. You don't want to put marker marks onto someone's precious table, for example, so just keep that in mind. Now, to make our circle. The easiest way to do this is to find something in your home that's about the right diameter for the circle that you want to make. For example, here's this colander that's about the right size circle for my purposes. So just trace out your circle. There you go. If there's nothing that's the right diameter of circle in your home that you want to use, the other method is making your own protractor. And all you need for that is a piece of string or rope or something that doesn't stretch. And you basically are going to make 2 knots. The first knot that you're going to make, or little loop that you're going to make, is going to be the center of your circle, and then the next knot that you make is going to be the length that you want the radius, so half of the diameter of my circle. And it's nice to have something like a pen that has a little bit of a point, because that's going to be the anchor point, the center of my circle. And then I'm going to take my other writing utensil, and just as you see, I use this string, helps me make a pretty perfect circle. Now we have our circle. We have to cut it out. Now when you're cutting, the most important rule is look where you're going. So before you even start to cut, you want to make sure that you're cutting away from yourself and away from anything that could be hurt. You can kind of bend away where you've already cut, and it should make it a little bit easier to get in there. But this is the hard part. Okay, success. We have a circle. So the next step is putting on the straps. As I mentioned, anything you have, a shoelace, a piece of rope. This is elastic, which is my personal preference because it's more one size fits all, but any kind of thing, and it just needs to be able to go around your forearm. It shouldn't be too weak, and it shouldn't be too uncomfortable. I like to do this with 2 straps, one that's a little higher up on my forearm, and the second one will be a little lower. This way, the shield won't fall to right or left as I'm using it. It'll stay upright. And this is especially important if I plan to decorate my shield with any kind of crest or artwork. I don't want it to fall to one side or the other. So I'm just going to cut 2 loops, slightly longer one and a slightly shorter one. And you know that it's the right length if you can get it on and off without too much trouble. We're just going to put a little knot. We have our 2 loops. Now what we need to do, see how I have separated out the 2 loops a little bit, and I put the tape through so that only one part of the loop is taped down and the other part is open so that I can put my arm through. My 2 arm loops are taped down, ready to be used, and I can just put my arm right through and boom, there's my shield. Now we take our tin foil and we want to make sure that the shinier side is facing out, but for a different purpose you could use the dull side, but we're going to go shiny today. You want to make sure that there's enough tin foil in each strip. If it requires more than 1 sheet of tin foil to cover the whole cardboard, you want to make sure that it's bigger than the circle so that you can use your fingers to find and follow that edge. Since my shield is sort of big, I need 2 strips of tin foil. And I can kind of decide where the seam wants to be. Then we flip our shield over and just go around the edge. We want to make sure it's pretty taut. Press it down. It's the wonders of tin foil. Once you have the tin foil covering all of the facing part of the shields, then you use your tape to tape it down. And at the very least, you just need enough tape so that the cardboard won't lose its tinfoil covering. So I'm just going to go around and every few inches, I'm just going to put some tape, making sure that none of the tape goes around to the other side since I'm using masking tape. However, if you were using packing tape or clear tape, you would be able to go around onto the front edge and we wouldn't see it. So that's the advantage of packing tape. There are versions of this where I will cover the entire shield, including the back, also with tin foil, and use packing tape to essentially laminate the entire thing. Just makes it very sturdy, even though it's just tape and cardboard and tin foil. But we don't need to do that today. Now we have our basic shields. I'm going to put my arm through the 2 loops, so it looks like this. And now I have a shield and I can defend myself. So if you choose, you can decorate your shields. You can use markers, or my personal favorite, if you have them on hand, is craft glue and some glitter. Essentially, you can draw with your craft glue and then sprinkle glitter over it. Always take a moment to consider cleanup before you start putting glue and glitter every which way. Now that I have drawn a pattern with my glue, I can use my handy glitter and sprinkle a layer of glitter over the pattern. You don't have to sprinkle a super ton of glitter, because you can also kind of swish it around a little bit to make sure that glitter gets on all parts of your glue. I'm pretty much covered glitter on all of my glue. Now I can gently tap it off. I'm going to leave it to dry overnight, and tomorrow I will have my custom-made shield ready to go. I hope that this inspires you to get creative and get crafty. Have fun!